Hey, welcome back, Silver Bull fans. Welcome back to Silver Bull channel. Someone in one of my last videos made a great comment about the Silver Waterfall. What do they mean by the Silver Waterfall? And you see how we have these big dips here, and again a big dip there, and we have there's another one, a Silver Waterfall, because they're almost like you go over then boom, drops down. And you don't see that much in the other precious metals, not quite, not a waterfall effect. It's interesting when these two waterfalls start, actually. It's close to when the New York Metals Exchange opens. So, New York, where your big players like Goldman Sachs and AP Morgan and others who have been accused of manipulating the silver market operate out of, and obviously, I'd say that's the time of day when some of these traders get onto the market and decide how are we going to fuck the silver market today? How can I make money off it? And that's their job. You've got to at least respect them for their job. The fact that their job may have long-term economic consequences as far as filling the world with fake paper silver, that's another thing up for grabs. I just saw a interesting little short of a movie. I forget its name, but it was narrated by Matt Damon on some of the trading practices prior to the GFC, and how some of these traders were making ridiculous sums of money, $300 million in bonuses, all the while they were selling their clients out. How these people haven't been sent to jail, and how they haven't had their assets stripped off them is just the untold crime story. It's the the person who goes with a shotgun into a bank and robs a bank is a stupid criminal. And yeah, they deserve their 20, 100 years, whatever they get in jail. It depends where they are. In Australia, they get fuck all, but in America, some of the sentences they give out there range in over 100 years. So the simple fact of the matter is we normally think of who we have to fear. We think of bank robbers and people like that. Your cops and robbers sort of show, but the real criminals are these guys, who make $300 million and then avoid all prosecution because they pay off the politicians who are abusing their executive power. See, the power of the executive, or the power of the sovereign, is the ability to grant mercy. Okay, and that's goes back a very long time. The sovereign, you could commit a crime, and the sovereign could say, I'm going to, despite you having obviously committed the crime, the sovereign could say, I'm going to grant mercy in this case. I'm going to pardon you of this crime. And that's always been the sovereign, or in the case of America, the executive's privilege. And often what we've seen with the US presidents is towards the end of their term, they'll do a whole bunch of pardons that they want to do to when it has no political consequence for them, because it's at the end of their term, so they don't really care. And it's often a way of paying back friends and other things like that. So unfortunately, it has become one of the most abused, things out there. One of my ancestors actually benefited from mercy of the sovereign. She was a widow who came over to New Zealand and came with her husband had been a metalworking jeweller, and she came with this bunch of jewellery. And she hadn't declared it to customs. And back then, customs was their major way of making revenue for the government. It was import taxes on everything. And because she sold off one of these watches, fob watch in the 1800s, she was jailed. But the place was only a small community then. The rest of society was outraged that they'd chucked this widow in jail. and did a petition up, and sure enough, the governor pardoned her, and she was allowed out of prison, despite having obviously committed the crime. But you know, that's your ability of the sovereign to say, all right, you've done something very wrong, but in this case, we're going to be merciful. Ironic, I have on one hand a ancestor who benefited from the sovereign's mercy, and I have another one who got hung. So, you know, it's interesting when you go through your family tree. There's black sheep, there's shiny. You know, to me, it's just as interesting looking at the less desirable people in your family tree, as it were, as the, you know, or everyone wants to be related to royalty or something else like that, or, you know, it's just, or someone famous. I mean, there's those in the tree as well, but to me, every person has their own story to tell. Whether they're famous or not for others, I really don't care. Anyhow, this is distracting from my original topic, which was Silver Waterfalls, and we've gone from the crime to family history to all over the place. Thanks to those who are making comments recently on my videos, really appreciate it. If they're constructive comments, they are always welcome. If they're your own opinion, they're welcome as well. If they're argumentative, they're welcome, so long as they're making a point. Name calling is just so pointless, and people who do that are just, you know, what are you adding to YouTube? But if you want to have a serious argument about something, that's fine. That's what freedom of speech is all about. Do you think I'm being paranoid about these Silver Waterfalls, or have you seen that as well? Obviously others have as well, because they've given it a name, the Silver Waterfall. Am I still stacking? Yes, I've just ordered 5 ounces today. I'm going to get one of those 5-ounce silver bars with the lion on the face, so I'll put that up as soon as I get it, and I hope you look forward to having a look at that bar. I'll do it in high def, and we can enjoy looking at some more silver porn. You know, price, as I said, you know, yeah, I like buying it when it's cheaper, but the simple fact of the matter is I'm a stacker. I've said that before. I'm stacking. I want a certain number of ounces. Next thing I probably want to do is get Bullion Bourse has a offer of 1/10 of an ounce fractional silver. So it's like, whereas the 5-ounce bar cost me just under 150, that 50 silver 1/10 silver ounces would cost me 180. So, you know, you're paying an extra $30 above what you could get cheaper. So, but I just think it'd be good to have a whole bunch of small 1/10 of an ounce. So if silver did take off, you've got something that's still easily convertible. And should currency fail, you know, you're going to have a lot of small silver units to trade and stuff like that, if you're going to have that. So I may pay the excuse me, the $30 premium to have that added liquidity. But that I'll do sometime in the future, and we can all have a look at what 1/10 of an ounce coins look like. That's Silver Bull channel out. Hope you're enjoying life. We've got some beautiful weather here at the moment, and life has its ups and downs.